Live? Okay.
All right. Sure that they start recording too before we get started. Hello, everyone out there.
Hold on.
Patience.
Not yet.
It's not streaming on YouTube. All right, good. All right, perfect. But thank you all for y'all patience. Gonna go ahead and get started. Again, hello and welcome to the Lost Confederacy channel. This is week 5 of the 13-week fiscal program of recovery for American prisoners of war. Today you have myself, Chief Biko, as always, Chief Quietwater and Chief Alligator. And here, as always, we focus more so on that first letter in the acronym APOW, which is American. Today I will start with this week's American inventor. And we have a good one, actually one of the GOATs, I would say. Funny, we haven't even brought him up within our past videos, but today we will. And that person is going to be George Washington Carver. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll jump into it. And just a little background for those that are unfamiliar with George Washington Carver. He was born in Diamond, Missouri. Don't have his actual birthday. That is kind of hard or sketchy as far as the records with that. He did pass January 5th, 1943. He is responsible or credited for producing over 300 foods, industrial and commercial products from the peanut. So just from one plant alone created. And he also created the Jessup wagon, which is still in use today. But today we'll be discussing his patent for the process of producing paints and stains. And this also came from clay. So being able to produce paints and stains from clay. The actual patent number is 1632365. And that patent was granted June 14th, 1927. So again, he was actually created or credited for creating the process of producing paints and stains just from the soil, pretty much just the soil, red clay, different clays, being able to actually produce paint from those things. Jump out of here. And next, we will have Chief Alligator with this week's Dr. Woodson quote. Pull up my definitions here.
You pull it up.
All right, which one are you going with this week?
Let's see. Scroll down a little bit more. Number 6. So today I'll read Woodson's number 6 quote. He is the founder and the originator of what we now know as Black History Month. Quote 6. Get my screen out of the way. Leadership is usually superimposed for the purpose of directing the course of the ostracized group along same lines. This was accomplished during the days of slavery by restricting the assembly of Negroes to certain times and places and compelling them to meet in the presence of a stipulated number of the wisest and discreetest men of the community. These supervisors of the conduct of Negroes would prevent them from learning the truth, which might make them unruly or ambitious to become free. And of course, we know on this channel that the word slavery actually was military occupation. This quote is very important for our group of people as we build upon the Tyree Nichols situation and just tie it in with all the proof of claim that we've been going over on this channel. The superimposed leadership, Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, Black Lives Matter, all of these superimposed leadership are hiding your Black Congressional Caucus. Now let's set aside the word Black for a minute and still recognize it is the oldest federal caucus since 1971. No other caucus is older than the Black Congressional Caucus, and no other caucus has as many members of the Black Congressional than the Black Congressional Caucus. However, these niggas are missing in action every time something happens to you. So we're playing chess, and we have to know who's the pawns and who's on the back row of the chessboard. The pawns are the bencrumps, the Al Sharpton, the Black Lives Matter, the NAACP. On the back row, these pawns are hiding the niggas on the back row. The niggas on the back row are your Black Congressional Caucus under this government. I'll stop right there.
Oh shit, you just made an excellent point.
Right.
I have yet to, I don't even think here the representative or whoever the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus is speak regarding any subject, let alone some shit having to do with our people dying. So that's a great point there. That's a great point. You never see them in the forefront. You never see them on CNN, never see them on ABC as far as having interviews. You always see bencrump, like you said, Al Sharpton or somebody else that has been, again, placed in front of us to calm the tension, but never the actual people that's supposed to be in these rooms speaking for us. It's a great point.
Right. And you would think that they would, you know, with their so-called positions, you would think that they would be the first ones on the front line, there with the parents and there with the relatives when something happens to one of our people, you know, to show some type of solidarity across the board. You know, it's so many of them, and you know, they just don't do what they're supposed to do. So I definitely agree, they're always nowhere to be found.
Great point. Correct. Next, we'll go ahead and have Chief Quietwater read off the legal definitions and maroon historical points, then we'll jump into it.
Okay. All right. I'll start off with legal definitions. Number 1, American, indigenous to America. Number 2, descendants, one who follows in the bloodline of an ancestor, either lineally or collaterally. Number 3, slavery, Number 3, slavery, a situation in which one person has absolute power over the life, fortune, and liberty of another. Number 4, prisoner of war, a person, usually a soldier, who was captured by or surrenders to the enemy in wartime. Number 5, school, an institution at which instruction is given in a particular discipline. Number 6, education, an enlightening experience. Number 7, recovery, a return to a normal state of health, mind, and strength, the action or process of regaining possession of something stolen or lost. And the maroon historical points. Number 1, was a person escaping slavery, seeking freedom, or breaking the law. Number 2, providing unity and strong defense came first. Number 3, maroon leaders were first and foremost military figures. Number 4, Maroons established guerrilla warfare, planting sharp sticks in thick grass. And number 5, Maroons knew their European enemies, language, defense, and plans.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief Quietwater. As stated earlier, within the bill, before we jump back into the 1964 Civil Rights Act, definitely have to, sit in this moment, address what pretty much occurred as far as the video of Tyree Nichols' murder. We just want to ask some questions and, actually walk again through this timeline of how we even got here. Starting off with, President Biden's election. So first and foremost, for each president, there's an agenda within those first 100 days. Whenever they come into office, you'll usually see them speak on what they want to get done, again, within those first 100 days. Just like any business, you're going to have that agenda for that first fiscal quarter. And as we will see, President Biden had nothing specific for us within those 100 days. And again, this just rhymes with this whole government's history. Again, like I stated before, we reading this 1964 Civil Rights Act, we obviously know there's nothing specific regarding what we were classified at that time, which is Negro and colored. Nothing within that document shows Negro or colored. And again, it just kind of repeats or history rhymes in regards to Biden not acknowledging our group of people, although 2020 happened because of our people in regards to George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and multiple other, victims of straight up war crimes. Because again, we know that we are prisoners of war at this point. We've already proven that. So again, just seeing that trend continue to show itself, throughout history. So what I want to do is pull up Biden's first 100 days, see some things that he actually had planned for those first 100 days. And I'll do a quick search again, just to see if there's anything regarding what we are classified as Black, African Americans, people of color, see if there's anything regarding our group, okay? So as we just slow it down, again, COVID pandemic, that was one of the things he wanted to get done within those first 100 days. Economic recovery, coming off the pandemic, reopening schools was a big ticket item, healthcare, immigration, foreign policy, let's see, climate crisis, social injustice, and inequality. Again, 2020, the group that had the most injustice done to them was our group.
Exactly.
Yet, we will see there's nothing regarding our group within this actual 100-day agenda. I'll just read this first little paragraph here. Biden kicked off his presidency by naming the most racially diverse cabinet in the U.S. history. Kudos to him. Disbanding the 1776 Commission and taking steps to address racial, economic inequality, including signing executive orders that could potentially help bridge the gap in home ownership between people of color and white people, strengthen the fight against bigotry faced by Asian Americans, and ease the anxiety of families with incarcerated relatives. Nothing regarding our group of people. They say Asian American hate, yet we saw countless times videos of our people getting murdered, whether it be by the hands of a European or by the hands of a police officer. Countless videos of that. Yet they're stating here within his agenda, the bigotry or the fight against bigotry faced by Asian Americans. And this is during 2020. So again, as we walk through this timeline, we're going to see that, okay, we were never accounted for by President Biden within his first 100 days. And since we weren't accounted for, now you start to see how we could be 3 years into a presidency and nothing has been done for our group of people. And that's going to lead us right into what we're going to talk about next with, George Floyd, different things of that nature. But since he brought up, Asian Americans within this document, let's just kind of go back to 2021, right after, the storming of the Capitol. I believe March 16th it was. There was a shooting in a Atlanta spa.
Hold on, don't go there yet, Chief Biko. Go back to the first 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the people in the chat, are they familiar with the importance of the first 100 days of any president? The first 100 days is the first fiscal quarter. It's 13 weeks in a fiscal quarter, i.e. 90 days.
Correct.
That's why when somebody hires you for a job, you're going to get a minimum of a 90-day probation. In the world of business, you go by fiscal quarters. This channel also goes by fiscal quarters. So what we're challenging the chiefs and the leaders on this channel that listens to this information is we have not done anything for one fiscal quarter since Selma, Alabama with the boycott in the 1960s. We talk about it, but we're never doing it. And that's what makes us minorities at this point. We can play the games about filing paperwork and all of that, knowing your family, all that's good. But until we step up and put our big boy pants on and set a goal and stick to it, nothing else matters. So this is why they're able to fly over our heads with the first 100 days of a president. We don't know the importance of it. So what we don't realize is what doesn't let me say this correctly. Before that president runs for office, he's got a 3-month goal or a 100-day goal. It's already written. He knows when he gets in office what he's going to do. What Chief Biko is showing you is that the Negro, Black, and color are not on his 100-day plan. After the world erupted from George Floyd. So you put this man in office and he never showed you what the plan was for you. So after the first 100 days, it's over with to the next president. And that shit been going on since integration. Does anybody in the chat say that they were aware of the power of the first 100 days? And the only reason I stopped you right there in Chief Biko is we got to stop giving our people a pass. Most of us don't know. And that's why we're in this situation. In this situation, because nobody's teaching us. We're not getting it in school. We're not getting it from public servants. That's all the Black Congressional Caucus is. They're not lords. They're not your gods. They're not better than you. They're actually supposed to be working for you. So the fact that 8 out of 10 of us don't even know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So that means poor marketing, poor advertising. So they getting federal salaries with federal benefits and federal time off. Meanwhile, most POWs don't even know who's supposed to be fighting for them. And so they send their proxies out, the Crumps, the NAACP, the Black Lives Matter. You're thinking about organizations. You're not thinking government. We got to grow up and start looking at it from a business standpoint. Go to the top. The top is government. I'll stop right there. Anybody in the chat, they're familiar with the first 100 days?
Most people are saying no.
No. Okay.
But that's pretty much what it is, what Chief Alligator just stressed. You know, if we're not being recognized in the first 100 days, or there's nothing specific that's going to be given to us, or any plans or any kind of agenda, that pretty much sets the tone for the whole 4-year presidency. And so we just get them in office and then we're forgotten about. We vote, they reel us in to get out there and vote. After they get the vote, you don't hear nothing else. That everything that they're saying during their campaign means nothing once they get the vote.
They chucking the deuce as soon as they get it.
Just like Kamala Harris, with the chucks and pearls, and she was Black and African American. And as soon as she got sworn in, she's what is she Indian American now, so
and
just
not
ignore
to throw it in our woman's face, but that lady was talking about Black girl magic. So the question that our women have to ask themselves, how magical are you right now? You've been murdered more by police since 2020, George Floyd. 2022 was the worst year under the United States government record for police killings of our people. So it's gotten worse since George Floyd. So all of this shit is a dog and pony show, and we just have to be adults about it. And we're going to walk through this. And much respect to everybody in the chat that's being honest that they didn't know this game. But one thing about our people, we catch on quick. So go ahead, go take off. Yeah.
Facts. Great summary and great questions asked. And again, shout out to the chat for being honest. And again, that's one of the first steps of recovery. That's one of our 7 steps, but that's just being honest with yourself, that what we can make progress towards where we need to go. Next, like I was stating before, we'll jump into what he's discussing here, which is this, bigotry against Asian Americans. And back in March 16th, I believe, of 2021, there was some killings of Asians within a massage parlor. So really what I just wanted to show here is that date. So remember that date for all the viewers, for the people in the chat. You see it here, March 16, 2021, right? Now we're going to take a look at how fast Congress moved to get this quote unquote COVID hate crime, even though we know it was an Asian hate crime bill passed within Congress. We're going to see how fast from March 16th to getting it passed within the Senate, the House, as well as having the president sign on the dotted line for it.
And can we put that date in the chat? just so we can timestamp it as well. March 16th, 2021, correct?
Correct. March
Okay.
16th, 2021. So remember, March 16th, 2021. Hell, I'm gonna zoom in real quick.
Can you drop this link in the chat as well so they can have it as proof of claim?
For sure, for sure. Let me put it in. I'm gonna drop it in our chat. That way, you can go ahead as well. That you.
We'll wait till she drops it in there so everybody can kind of follow along with you, so you don't go too fast in front of them, because we all learning together. This idea that one person is going to stand on the soapbox and talk down at the rest of the people, that's a broken model and it doesn't work. We all are in the mud together. We all have family members. We all have kids. It can easily be your kid on a video being killed by one of these revenue agents, and you have no organization to go to. That's the harsh reality of it. There's no defense. There's no group of people that you can call to get eye for an eye justice. You're gonna have to either accept Crump's offer or decline his offer as well. So we can play these games like you got immunity from if this happens to your family, and the reality is we all in the same boat. This shit don't, yeah. So let's stop playing these games and let's have a real conversation tonight.
The status of this system does not matter. I'm telling you. But again, we good as far as having it drop?
Yep, I dropped it. I'm sorry.
Perfect. No, you're good. So March 16th was when the actual murder happened. We see here it was introduced in Senate a week later. So let's just stop right there. A week later. Now, I know throughout past videos we've stopped and read, the Congressional Black Caucus agenda. We've read the Asian and Pacific Islanders agenda. We've read the Hispanic Congressional Caucus agenda. And the difference between those other two caucuses and the Black Caucus is that they're specific in regards to who they are fighting for. So understanding it only took them a week to get this introduced, let alone get enough people to write something and brainstorm together just to even have plans to send it to Senate. They did this within a week. So again, got it introduced into the Senate in a week. The next month, got it passed in the Senate.
Well, before you even go there, put the practical application to being introduced to the Senate, going back to being public servants. Mm-hmm. That means that Asian caucus got phone calls, and them phone calls told them, write some legislation so that this shit won't happen again.
Facts.
And them people got off their ass and they wrote legislation and they introduced it into Senate. That's what you're supposed to be doing with your public servants. These people don't run you. You're supposed to run them.
Correct. Great point. So again, got it passed within the Senate, 94 votes to 1 nay. So 94 yeses to 1 nay. Next month, got it passed in the House, 364 yeses to 62 nays. And then the president, it was—
Hold on, stop right there. Stay in Congress. The Senate and the House.
Yeah, that's your law.
Now, what they tell prisoners of war on the land, they tell you, in order to get the vote, first you got to vote in large mass, then you got to get out in the streets and you got to hold your breath for a minute and 20 seconds, and you got to have one leg up, you know what I'm saying? And you got to—
silly shit. You
got to wear a Charlie Brown outfit. Like, you got to do all of these things right to get something to go through Congress. We're looking at would end up being the Asian hate bill. This shit went through both houses of Congress easy. You've never been able to get nothing. This is what you need to shut shit down for moving forward. You get in the streets about this, not about them showing some more trauma porn on video. I'm gonna stop right there.
No, correct. Again, this happened, it got this passed within Congress within 2 months of that massacre. Again, March 16th, we have May 18th, it's passed within Congress. And again, what does Congress do? Write your laws and your legislative branch. But again, like Chief Alligator stated, they always say, hey, we got to make sure we got to have the majority vote within the Senate and the House. So we got to make sure we vote this Democrat and do all this other bullshit, when the Asian and Pacific Islander caucus is obviously showing you none of that shit has to happen. They again made these calls to their representatives and got shit done. So again, that next day, again, May 18th, May 19th, the president has it in front of him, and the president signs it 2 days after they actually passed it within Congress. And it became law that same day. So we're seeing how quickly things can get done, yet when it comes to our group of people, shit don't never move this fast.
And just to build on top of that, Chief Biko, a general major out the military isn't writing fake letters. A president isn't doing an Emancipation Proclamation. You're seeing jurisprudence right here in front of you. This is the way a government should work. It's called order.
Right.
One house of Congress votes on it. The next house in Congress votes on it. When both houses have a majority vote to agree on it being law, they pass it to the president signs off. What we're saying on this channel is the Negro, Black, and Colored has no document that went through this procedure under United States government history. And you're still thinking you're a part of this shit. That's what we're proving on this channel. They've never done this for you. Never. We're paying the price for our ancestors not going west of the Mississippi on the Indian Removal Act. We're paying that price. We were declassified and our birthright was stolen from us because our ancestors stayed 10 toes down and fought in unlawful Seminole wars to this day. I'll stop.
You're right. I definitely agree. And I think that's something that we just have to really get in our head, that again, what we've been proving these last few videos for the last 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, is wanting to be included in something, that we don't fit in. There was never an intent for us to fit in. It was never made for us to fit in, but we keep trying to force our way and wedge our way into their system. And it's just showing us time and time again that it's not for us. It was not meant for us.
Correct. So as we see here, we're seeing how quickly they were able to get things done. Now we're going to actually parallel that with our group. As Chief Alligator stated, as Chief Quietwater stated, we're seeing that there's a big difference when it comes to our group versus these other groups, especially in regards to who's supposed to be representing them within this government. So I'm gonna pull up here. We got George Floyd, died May 25th, 2020, right? Now let's take a look and again, compare and contrast the steps taken between the Asians caucus and ours. So this man died again, what was that? May 25th, 2020. Introduced in the House February 24th, 2021. So a whole 9 months later.
Speaks for itself.
A woman's pregnancy, a whole term, somebody had a child by the time they introduced this to the House. Let that sink in.
And this is our fault. It's our fault because we are the adults. And my generation was in the 90s, man. If you got past 25, that was a big milestone. So everything we're seeing with the youth now is just a repeat. But what happens is one generation will try to segregate itself from the next generation, like, oh, we weren't like y'all. You understand? But the reality is, when you just look at the big picture, we are the adults. We're supposed to be teaching the kids. So if the adults don't know that the George Floyd Act didn't even get written up and introduced in the House until February 2021, we're the problem, not the youth. The youth are just acting out because they're emotionally still like kids. So it's really on us as the middle-aged and older adults. If we don't know shit, how do we think the youth are going to get in line? So the responsibility needs to be put back where it is. And again, that's why it's not fancy. It's not exciting what we're doing on this channel, but you cannot run something or you cannot operate within a society and you don't know nothing about how shit works. These people are doing or not doing. And so it's business as usual when it comes to people who look like us and get in position. The name of the game, a good paying, high federal job with good benefits, and don't worry about them niggas. Give them a little fish fry every now and then, come out right before it's time for you to get reelected and keep your seat and keep the game going. The only people that can stop that is us. But we're going to have to study to show ourselves approved. There's no way around it. So we can rant and rave and complain all day long about what's going on, but it ultimately comes down to us. If we don't know what the fuck is going on, how can you win? I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah, it just goes back to like we always talk about, gotta learn and know the rules of the game. Gotta learn and know the rules of the game. And get those who are supposed to be representing us out, because they obviously are incompetent. There's no way this should take 9 months for this to be introduced into Congress. No way. Not after what we just saw, how quickly that moved in regards to what the Asians were able to do with that Asian hate bill. What I believe it was maybe eight people that died within that. Hell, we had more than that within a month in regards to what happened in 2020. Yet again, you're talking about 9 months later just to have it introduced, and then the next month, basically a week later, barely, I'm not even sure if it passed, barely even got majority vote within the actual House. So again, we see that we have obviously incompetent leaders that are representing us, and we have to make sure that we hold them accountable, hold their feet to the fire, and get them the hell up out of here. Because as Chief Alligator stated earlier, they're just making a easy check.
Well, if you want to stand up for something, and this goes back to being in control, you have to get in the habit of saying no, and you have to have boundaries. You got 22 people that voted for this act, and you got 212 that didn't. That's when you become unruly in the streets. If you want to stand up, that's what we stand up for as adults. We stand up to be like, oh, hell no. Y'all just did a worldwide lynching of George Floyd, and y'all don't want to pass a goddamn defund the police act. Then you act the fool because you in the right to do so. Then the kids will follow the adults because the kids are going to get on game like, why dad, why mom tripping? Oh, this bill just barely passed the House and it ain't passing the Senate. That's how we get shit done, not acting like our kids when they blow one of our kids' brains out and then we all want to act like we don't know what's going on. No,
Right.
no, you're supposed to have been in the streets on March 3rd, 2021. You're supposed to have been at every one of these public service offices egging their ass. Y'all got us fucked up. You think you're gonna kill George Floyd and the world erupt and y'all ain't gonna pass no law to stop this shit? Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
It's like we got a bunch of adult kids amongst our group of people.
Right.
Like what I'm saying is like, it's like a lot of us are adult in age, but you get pushed around in your personal life. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you could justify this group of people getting pushed around like that. There's no standard with you, even when it comes to your death. You don't have a standard that you say, oh, you got me fucked up about this. There's nothing, because if they can kill you, then that's the bar can't go any lower. Nature cannot do anything for you if you're not going to self-preserve your group.
Right. That's like
if you're not willing to kill somebody that killed one of yours, then you're out of rhythm with the universe, and so mote it be. It's just going to be what it's going to be.
No, you're correct. You're correct. And again, that just leads us into, again, present day Tyree Nichols sleeping on this. So again, this is going to continue to happen each fiscal quarter, going back to those first 100 days. Biden didn't account for us, and we saw every fiscal quarter something happened, some type of trauma. Every 90 days, we're going to give to the American, whether it be a murder at a supermarket, whether it be another no-knock warrant just coming in, shooting another one of us, whether it be somebody getting pumped with 60 bullets, whether it be your athletes and entertainers being publicly lynched. Every fiscal quarter, you're going to get. And it just rhymes with exactly what we're looking at right here. Just rhymes with that. So I kind of want to bring up this Memphis chief of police.
Before you go there, what date did they actually throw the George Floyd Act in the trash can?
I believe that was, what did it say here? October 22nd, 2021.
Can you click back on that document and can you
Go back to,
and let's make sure we drop that in the chat as well. Because again, we are the adults, so we can't look at our kids and wonder why they're acting the way they're doing. It's because we are not being who we're supposed to be. We are the adults. We supposed to know what time it is. They're going to follow us. We're their superheroes. So if you in front of your kids and you telling them, you know, prisoner of war type tactics, like just keep your hands on the steering wheel and don't raise your, no. You're destroying your kid when you tell them shit like that. And that's what we don't realize. I may be hurting some feelings tonight, but it is what it is. I would never tell my son that, I would never tell him, and he's old enough to drive now, I would never tell any young man or my son that he need to fear for his life because a revenue agent pulled him over. No, we'll get into that a little bit later, but you got to understand structure. No, he's just an employee, son. He's the bottom of the pole when it comes to that agency. Let him be as nasty as he wants to. Get that goddamn ticket, give me a call, and we'll show up at court, or we'll show up to the police station the following day, or however many business days it take for that document to get filed. No, we'll handle it like an adult. That's what we need to tell these youth. Pay the strap, right, your pistol and everything. Realize that police officer is the lowest entry-level person in that department. Why you want to go back and forth with him? Get the damn ticket and live to see another day. Give me the damn ticket. On top of that, since you're getting money like that, why don't you go ahead and get Legal Shield and pay the little $30 a month and get you a law firm on your team? Like, we got to start teaching our kids what's real and stop all this victim shit, because I don't live like that. And it frustrates me to see how we're not giving our kids the game. And I know why, because a lot of men my age, you're scared of the system. You didn't fight for your kids in child support, custody cases, none of that shit. You act like the damn building is haunted. When it's a public building, you can go down there and go in the law library any damn day of the week, but you scared to go in that shit. That's what makes you a nigga. I'm not your nigga.
It's not, that's real.
No,
I think that's a big problem too. Just me as a,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that I know 8 out of 10 niggas haven't walked the path that I've walked. I've been fighting this system my whole goddamn life. Got wins, and the only time I lost is when they cheat. And it ain't criminal cases, it's civil cases. So I can say what I say because I know most you niggas scared to read law. You act like a motherfucker that sat in the classroom for 12 years is the only person who can do law. Let me stop, man.
No, that's real shit. That's
real. And I was just going to say, just to piggyback off of that, like you said, in regards to what we're imposing on our kids about fear and, fearing the police, that's giving them the power to continue to do what, to do what they're doing. If we continue to put fear in them, like they're supposed to be scared of the boogeyman, the boogeyman is going to do exactly what the boogeyman does, and that scare them and mistreat them, and just teach them how to stand on what they believe. Like Chief Alligator said, you get pulled over, take the ticket gracefully, show up in court.
Facts.
Yeah.
What's special about these folks? They bleed too.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing special about these folks. But again, gotta stop instilling that fear, that minority mindset, that that bottom of the barrel mindset into our people. Nah, damn all that. Again, just showing them exactly who we are.
And just to piggyback off what Chief Quietwater just said real quick about just get the ticket and show up another day, understand that revenue agent, notice I'm calling it revenue agent because a police officer is not the law. We'll get into that too. The sheriff is the law. The sheriff is the person that works in the courthouse. The sheriff is the bailiff. The police are not law. They're revenue agents, meaning he works off of a quota. Leave that man alone. He's a low-level employee. Take his ticket and go on about your damn day. When you start telling him I'm talking to the young men, when you start telling them people, I know what my rights are, you're frustrating him because he don't even know what your rights are. He's a low-level patrol officer, and I'm not disrespecting them that are in that position, but you got to look at structure and understand who you're dealing with. Why am I going to get in a pissing contest with him when I can go see his watch commander tomorrow or in 3 business days when the damn ticket generates? Yeah, and I can file a claim on him. Now what happens? Your name goes in public record. Respect that man. Why? Because he'll file a claim against you. It's a procedure to this. And we're going to get into it tonight because nobody's talking about this with our young men. Nobody's talking about you can't walk down there in that public facility and file a claim on them. You ain't got to curse him out. You ain't got to say nothing. He got to give you his business card. Can I get your officer number, sir? I'll be more than happy to offset this ticket. When is it due? That's all he can tell you. So you frustrate him when you start talking about your laws and shit. He don't get trained on that.
Yeah.
He get trained on how to do you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. We gotta stop putting these people on pedestals. I'm gonna stop right there.
No, that's right. That's right. But that's gonna segue us right into, the chief of police in Memphis. I believe was this Sarah Lynn Davis. And shoot, I'm gonna let you build off of this, Chief Alligator. Just in regards to this situation here. Oh, she jumped off. Hold on. So what we got here is again Chief of Police, Ms. Davis. As we all know, the officers who were involved with Nichols' murder were all, for lack of a better term, Black. Again, I think the only thing or the charge was second-degree murder. So not first degree, but second degree. Again, that's a lower count just in regards to murder. So I believe it goes manslaughter, second-degree murder, then first-degree murder, or something along those lines.
And we don't want to focus on that. What we want to look at is, let's look at structure. We're going back to structure. Did the chief of police for Memphis adhere to structure? She investigated it. She fired him. She charged him criminally. She just showed you what a chief of police should do and can do within their structure. This is what got you in the streets for George Floyd. They never wanted to press charges and fire him. So you can take wins from this lesson that you just saw with Tyree Nichols. Oh, you can fire them and you can charge them criminally. So this idea that they're going to get suspended with pay, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the bar has been set with this American chief of police. If we take time and look at it, she did just set a new standard. So moving forward, it's unfortunate that we had to have all these murders to get to this point, but now you know what a melanated chief of police, she just showed you, this is the standard. You can fire them, you can investigate them, fire them, and charge them criminally. But you'll look at your fake puppet Black leaders on TV and they'll talk about you need to fire them. No. You need to charge them criminally. Firing them ain't enough. They just killed somebody.
Correct.
So kudos to her for doing her part at the city level. But back at the federal level, we got to look at the Black Congressional Caucus, because you never defunded the police and you never ended qualified immunity. And I didn't catch the date that you said they actually threw out the Georgia.
October 22nd, 2021.
That was the day that Negroes were supposed to lose their goddamn mind and be all in the streets. You want to call your National Guard out? Every fucking governor under this government should have been calling their National Guard, because niggas have lost their goddamn mind. You got us all the way fucked up to think you're going to throw out the George Floyd Act after you lynched this man in front of the world, and you're not going to change one law for this group of people. That's when we were supposed to stand on our square. So that's on us, adults with kids. That's on us. We got to change and study to show ourselves approved. They running game on us because the adults don't know how shit operate. It's almost like being an employee, you looking at the owner like, I want to be you. Nigga, put the work in. So that's kind of what we're doing. Like, we talk about wanting to have our own shit, but put the work in. That's what the Asian gonna say. That's what the Pacific Islander gonna say. That's what every other group of people gonna say. You want to get your shit back? Well, then study to show yourself approved because you done forgot how shit work.
Yeah.
You the only one out here marching and protesting and not getting none. That ain't how it work. I'm gonna stop right there.
Consider right there though. The only group actually marching and protesting. Didn't see any nationwide protests when it came to that Asian massage parlor. Didn't see nothing about that. A week later, here, introduce it. A month later, had this pass. 2 months from that whole murder, we got this whole law. So we're not finna be shucking and jiving. We don't want symbolism. We don't care if you put Black Lives Matter down your damn streets. Nah, we don't want none of that. We want actual actionable steps to be taken. Make this a law, and that's it. So again, like you said, we gotta get back in alignment, just as a group. Next, definitely want to bring up bencrump here, because it's definitely interesting. And before we kind of get into that, just want to see exactly what he is or what he specializes in. So he's an attorney for civil rights and catastrophic personal injury cases. So he's not a criminal attorney. So he's not going to charge, or he's not there to charge any officer, any person with actual criminal crimes that have been enacted against our group of people. He's there to strictly get the family paid. And in doing so, I liken him to an A&R. He's basically a talent scout. Straight up, he a talent scout. Every time there's somebody who gets murdered, he's going to check the temperature, see if it's hot enough. Y'all got a video to go with this murder? Oh, y'all already got a whole music video. Okay, bet. All right, bet. Let me see it. Oh yeah, they gonna eat this shit up. Yeah, this gonna really get them. Then he makes the contacts to all your quote unquote black media. He's plugged in with your CNNs, your ABCs, all of your liberal media. He say, look, I got this hot new tape of this nigga getting murdered. I think we should drop it in about 2 weeks, build the marketing up, the propaganda, and we're gonna drop it and shit, shake the whole world up. That's what he does. That's exactly what he does. He looks for who has been murdered, if there's any video evidence that we can kind of sit on and build up, and then we're gonna drop it like it's a damn what you say, a Michael Jackson video, like it's the Carter 3. Like it's some big ass boxing fight from Floyd Mayweather. That's what he does.
I was at a restaurant on Friday about 5 o'clock, and after I finished up what I was eating, every fucking TV in the restaurant turned to a news station that was about to air the killing of this man. And I told the lady, give me my bill. And she was like, wow, you ain't gonna, nah. But what I was sharing with some people is I'm old enough to remember the only person that made the world stop like that was Michael Jackson videos. It's gotten to a point in society where our death is treated like a fucking Michael Jackson video. Like, hey, we dropping this at 6:30. So we got to ask ourselves, we got to put this man on the scale, and we got to be adults. Again, the kids follow us. We got to be adults and look at when did he get his claim to fame? Trayvon Martin. Now let's talk business for a minute. This man has his own law firm, so he's not an employee. That's a lawyer. He doesn't work for the state, and he doesn't work for a law firm. He's got his own law firm. So I respect him for putting his own money on the line and taking that Trayvon Martin case. But has he built a nice operating cash fund and a nice emergency fund off of our murders. But what I'm saying to us tonight and to everybody in the chat, look past him.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the Black Caucus and the Congress. Now, we understand that we have to develop and create our own, but you can't do that unless you first understand how a government operates. So we need to stop worried about Crump. Crump needs to get those cronies from Black Lives Matter, NAACP, all these bought and paid for organizations. Let them motherfuckers go out there in the streets. The people need to learn from 2020. You won't trick us again. The world went on fire and you didn't pass the George Floyd Act.
Right.
So we're not moving. So right now, he done put a lot of money into this murder in Memphis. That's why that shit aired like a Michael Jackson video. The streets need to be empty. The streets need to be empty. So the people are showing him, we ain't buying that bullshit no more. If you ain't talking about Congress changing laws, fuck this shit. That's
what's the point, right?
Yeah,
what's the point?
Entire ass based on law, not based on a civil case. Now let's get into the civil case. He ain't slick. Anybody that's ever hired an attorney, the first thing you got to do is sign the retainer contract. He ain't guaranteeing a motherfucking thing.
Exactly.
Let's be clear. And if your money ain't long, that means that he's gonna have to front the cost of the case and get his on the back end, which is why he's gonna promote your shit and have you taking tours and interviews and the whole nine. But let's get into that non-disclosure agreement that nobody want to talk about. Anytime these parents say we don't want no violence, just automatically know you signed the non-disclosure agreement,
right?
Because
exactly,
it's not gonna pay you, and you got people paying up their shit. So automatically, at some point, it can't be about fiat. Correct. And it's mighty interesting how you get poor or middle-class people are always the victims of the murders. So you dangle the fiat in front of them and they sign that non-disclosure agreement, i.e. Breonna Taylor. Mighty funny how Grandmaster Jay had people bring attention to your daughter dying, but then when that man got locked up, your daughter never got a murder trial. That man got locked up and you got nothing to say because you signed a non-disclosure agreement and you took the bag. The game is up. The game is up. We gonna call you niggas for what y'all are. You selling, you're profit. This shit is better than lottery at this point. If you lose a family member and you get Crump on the case, hell, you guarantee lotto. But
exactly.
Facts. So I said he an A&R. He know exactly what to look for. Like you said, those low-income families, you got a video, or we can get some traction. Oh yeah, we gonna ride this wave. And if I gotta put my money up, then I'm damn sure gonna make sure I get the bag after this.
Right, you're gonna be on every interview, every TV show.
Exactly. And like I said, it just parallels with the whole rap culture. So he is, again, what an A&R is to rap. He is that for profiting off of our people's death. Plain and simple.
And here's what's interesting with him. He went on, and again, you got to look at both sides of the coin. He went on Roland Martin earlier this week. And it was the way he was talking to Roland Martin. He was like, man, we got one. In other words, like, we got one so nasty, like when this one dropped, this gonna set the, he needs the world to erupt again. But
exactly.
Again, this is where street smarts come in. We just lived through 2020. We saw Black Lives Matter make $90 million and not one of the families of somebody who lost a loved one got taken care of. That's all we're asking. We're asking, we want to hear from Tamir Rice's parents. What has Black Lives Matter done for you? They should come up and say, man, they paid for my other kids' college free of charge. They paid off my house. They paid off my car. They paid off lawyer fees. Why you can't hear nobody that lost a loved one brag about what Black Lives Matter is doing for them? Because it's a bullshit organization.
Yeah, they ain't doing nothing.
Roland Martin, and he was like, Roland, we got one. So Roland goes late. All these fucking major news stations get ready to go late. The governors are in sync with it, which is a sign of respect to us, people. The fact that the governor in Georgia sent out his military, that's a sign of respect. He didn't deploy his militia. He didn't deploy his police officers. He said, if these niggas really let their nuts hang, it's going to be war. So he sent his National Guard. We ain't move. People ain't moving. We just watching your moves at this point. Let's see how you coming now. We studying you for this heavyweight fight that we getting ready to get into. You like to lead with your left. Okay, you like throwing uppercuts. So boom, they didn't get the response they wanted this week. Pay attention to that, y'all. The places where they were showing protests, it wasn't us. Those were people that are part of fake organizations.
Right.
So
It didn't
next
work
week,
this time,
it
basically.
didn't work.
Right.
Right. So this week
Yeah.
they're gonna be scratching. Yeah, like damn, the people ain't. Yeah, we ain't moving. We catching on to your game. We just watching
Mhm.
you now.
Mhm.
We playing chess with you.
Let
But we
'em
looking at the
strange.
Black Caucus because ultimately no laws got passed for us. So we don't want to hear your well-spoken college graduates that hid in the classroom all their life and never been outside. We don't want to hear from them how what needs to happen. Fuck all that. Write
Yeah.
the goddamn law, Congress, or we'll show our entire ass. Do I
Right.
need to turn down?
No, that's how it is. Shit. No, keep this energy coming, man.
Right.
Everything
It's
you're
the
saying
truth.
is the truth. Yeah. Everything
Right.
you're saying is the truth. Everything you're
Mhm.
saying is true. So I would say, like you said, since nothing popped off last week, I expect them to push some buttons, start trying to see if they can add some fuel to the fire, put a battery in our people back. But again, we got to sit back and say, no, fuck all this. We seen 2020.
Exactly.
We lived through 2020. You niggas ain't do shit for us after that. So y'all
Mhm.
think y'all can drop this shit and make us, nah, y'all still on the line for the George Floyd Act back then. So no, we're not finna play y'all stupid games. And it's funny, like you said, how he was talking to Roland Martin. That's like somebody going on damn Funk Master Flex or the Breakfast Club and like, yeah, I got this new shit in the drop, gonna drive the streets crazy. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same
Mhm.
exact thing. And I'm glad it seems like our people are waking up to the bullshit and to the game.
Right.
So
And let me add one more thing on that, just to show you how it's intellectual warfare. How now the state of Georgia wants to charge the people that I think they blew up a police car about a week ago, and they're charging them with terroristic threat. That sounds like a federal charge. I mean, I could be wrong, but terroristic threat.
yeah.
What we have to do as adults is we can't be short-sighted.
Domestic threat. Okay, I'm sorry. What's the difference between domestic threat and terroristic? Because I think that's what they're saying is a domestic threat. Is that the same thing?
Terroristic threat is what they're hitting them with.
Oh, okay.
So what is that? Is that federal or is that state?
If it's terroristic, then I thought that it was federal.
Can somebody look it up, or can somebody in the chat look it up as well? But the point that I'm bringing out is that was a bear trap set for non-thinking people this weekend.
Or domestic terrorism.
You got your National Guard out there. You got states passing laws against protesting. You didn't get protected by the government through the George Floyd Act. So that was a plan to get you out there so that they could possibly start shooting you on video.
Facts.
That's how you got to look at this, y'all. That's how we got to be talking to our kids now. Nah, the days of going out there and protesting are over in 2020. It's over with. It's over with because no law changed. And so the second part of that is all these families that are losing loved ones that want to take this bag and then toe the corporate media line. We got to let them know that's unacceptable to the people.
Facts. We got a standard.
That's unacceptable to the people.
Yeah.
We tired of hearing this broke back apology shit. I never grew up like that. My parents didn't tell me if somebody took your apple in school or somebody attempted to take anything from you in school that you're supposed to let that. I don't know. I don't understand how that operates. Right. So the fact that we letting people take the lives of our people and then we turning around talking about forgive, I don't know where that shit come from. Did anybody in the chat grow up on that type of time where their parents told them that if something get taken from you, just let it ride? Because maybe my parents were shut out. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you gonna have a bunch of hell
like, you better
no's
hit them bad. They would beat you if you didn't fight back.
No,
in my generation.
And all that. And you better take your L.
Right. You better go back out there.
Nah.
Yeah, it's different for sure.
It's different nowadays, man. It's different nowadays.
You got a whooping for not fighting.
But in regards to that terroristic threat, if it's something from Georgia, it is a Georgia law regarding it. So basically it says threatens to commit any crime of violence, release any hazardous substance or burn or damage property. That would be considered a terroristic threat. So it does seem like it's on the state level, but I'm pretty sure they can also charge them federally as well.
Because I believe Donald Trump, before he left office, I believe he was like, anybody who gets locked up, he was going to put federal charges on them. And a lot of the college age people were out in the streets in 2020. That's why I always double back to the fake organization Black Lives Matter. Y'all raised all that money. Did you pay to get these federal records expunged from the college students that were out there? Or did you take it and buy houses and buy cars and have parties with it? So, again, we got to be adults about it and look at it like adults and see that this whole media thing, man, they think we're kids. They really think we're kids. And it's unfortunate because this is going to put a battery in the wrong European back. And he's going to feel like a man like myself fits the narrative that they tell him on TV, and his whole life going to get fucked up. See, that's what makes it hard for me, is the media paints it like all men are thugs, all men are criminal. Meanwhile, I'm out here squaring my actions, studying to show myself approved. And if I run across one of these people who let the media tell it I'm supposed to be XYZ, your whole life gonna get fucked up. I ain't never been on that type time. And that's gonna be the downside of this. There's gonna be some European men out here that's gonna get their whole shit fucked up.
Shit.
Because they got the wrong idea, and it's gonna be through TV. TV, it's just a matter of time. They're gonna run across somebody like myself, and the shit is gonna be so ugly. It's gonna be so ugly. Because you got me fucked all the way up.
That's the type of time we all supposed to be on.
It's comical, bro. They ain't the only ones that can shoot. I mean, it's crazy. Like we the majority in the army, we the majority in the infantry, and these white boys actually sit like y'all the only ones that can shoot. Like y'all the only ones that got guns. We ain't gonna even talk about hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Don't even get started on that.
With a 3-piece, real quick. Like, what are we talking about?
Shit, if you ain't came up in the neighborhood if you ain't even slap boxed. Shit, that's just a rite of passage. So yeah, man, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Again, I just say shit. We gotta hold ourselves to a certain standard. Again, with this whole Tyree Nichols
game, bro.
A case, just sit back. You gotta sit back and watch the chessboard.
Yeah, at this point, they think it's a game, man. And again, I'm trying to be reserved, but it's a lot of fuck niggas out here that make it hard for people like myself. Y'all making it hard for us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only a matter of time before one of these people gonna have the wrong idea, and they gonna think that some of us just can't relate to none of that shit that y'all talk about on TV, bro. And it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly, man. Straight up, it's gonna be ugly. So we might as well get on the same accord now. And I ain't the only one out there. It's other men out there that know what time it is, man. It's time for us to start speaking up. It's been past time, but it's time for us to start speaking up, man. Y'all got us fucked up.
Definitely agree.
Let's keep it moving, man. It's unfortunate that it's got to be moments like this that go viral, where records have to be set straight, and a standard got to be set. But yeah, ain't nobody walking around in society like they a victim. I walked around. Let's get into that last topic. What's the last topic about the guns at the court?
Yeah, talk about the police, courts, and the guns.
Yeah. So let me talk to these young men right quick. So contrary to what the news or the media or what anybody gonna tell you, all right, you got the right to say strapped up just like they do. All right. First thing you want to do, young man, when you get 18 years old, and I'm telling you this on real man time, right? Your mama may not tell you this, your uncle may not be able to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you straight up. First thing you want to do is you want to get the constitution of the estate that you live in, and you want to find out, is it a constitutionally open carry state? Constitution is their law. Statute, codes, and ordinances is not law. So if you're in a constitutional carry state and it's an open carry state, then that means that I don't need a license for this. I all you got to do is go down to the Army Navy surplus store or whatever kind of military store they got in your area and get you an open carry holster and put it on. Now, the average Negro will look at you and be like, he crazy. But again, what did Carter G. Woodson say? All Negroes must know the law. You gotta know what time it is out here. So that's the first thing. If you're not in a constitutional carry state, find out what type of carry permit you got to get and go through the process and get it. And guess what? If you got a criminal charge on your record as a man, you need to have the disposition of the case anyway. As a man, if you plan on applying for any kind of job that's worth having, you need to have your record on tap before they pull it up so you can present them with the documents before you even apply for it. So not only do you need it for the gun, you need it for future employment purposes. This is what a man would do. Now you got to go down there to the courthouse. Why are you afraid of the courthouse? Those clerks down there are public servants. They work for you.
Exactly.
The taxes that come out of your paycheck pay them. See, we got the game all fucked up. So you go down there, you find out what's the procedure. I'm gonna keep going back to that. Procedure, steps. What's the procedure that I gotta do to get my carry license? A lot of these states are abolishing the procedure. Why? Negroes been filing like crazy to get gun license since 2020. So a lot of states saying you ain't even got to file for it no more. Hell, just rock the constitutional carry. But you need to know that.
Yeah.
I've been open carrying since the day Ahmaud Arbery died. I haven't had not one sheriff or police officer, depending on what jurisdiction I'm in. I'm in all gas stations. I'm all over. I've never had somebody pull up to me that was of any kind of law enforcement ask me about my weapon. See, when you study to show yourself approved, it's an aura and it's an energy that you walk in society with. That's my young man. That's my message to y'all, man. You need to know what time it is. Get your law game up. Understand what's going on.
I'm about to say it's a whole nother reality once you do it.
Yeah. And women too.
Mm-hmm.
Women have to stop being scared to carry because it took me almost a year probably after I purchased my gun to even carry it. So just, getting out of your comfort zone for females, and carry too.
Absolutely.
Of course, going through the procedure of legally carrying.
Right. And I've got friends because I'm middle-aged, right? So I've got friends of my generation that caught charges or whatever have you. What's going to end up happening is you'll be that person within the people, I ain't gonna say your peer group, but let's just say everybody. What I'm saying right now, I would like every young man to do it, but from my living experience, only 20%, only 2 out of 10 men will actually go down there, go through the procedure, and then be able to come back to their homeboys and be like, oh, you got a charge, bro? That ain't no problem. All you got to do is, go down there and do da-da-da-da-da, get it exonerated, get it expunged. But a lot of us are afraid to go down there. So that's the first thing. You can't be afraid to go down there. And then the other thing would be, we got all kind of excuses not to handle business. I'm talking to the men now. I'm talking to melanated men. We got all kind of excuses not to go down there and handle business. Oh, it be us down there working that be our own enemy. Yeah, it do be gatekeepers down there. But guess what? When they realize that you're not leaving until you get what you came for, my experience, they'll help you. They're gonna help you. That same lady that was being an ass to you, she'll turn around and be like, what you really trying to do down here? Trying to get my gun, I'm trying to get blah, 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 blah. Okay, you need to go over here, go on the 3rd floor, go to the law library, whatever. People will help you once you knock on that knock and it shall be answered. So there's no excuse for us. But again, you wonder why these young men don't respect the middle-aged and the elder men. It's because we're not showing them nothing.
Putting them on game, not putting them on game or nothing.
Right.
So there's no respect there. There's no respect for men. I'm not saying me personally, I'm saying my generation. There's no respect because you're not teaching them nothing. They're not stupid. We weren't stupid at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. What make you think these youth stupid?
That's
You can't be talking the same thing the TV talking, man. You know how it is out here. The young bulls don't want to hear that.
You supposed to be giving us something better. You supposed to be giving us something better.
I'm gonna stop right there on that, man. But I just want to pass that information on to these youth. You can have a weapon and you can have it lawfully. And I'm gonna tell you something, going through that procedure is gonna make you stand upright because it's all about order, it's all about structure. Once you go through the procedure, boom, now you don't want to lose that. So now you're gonna be a little bit more careful how you move and how you do what you do. Now you'll start weaning out who you want to hang around and be around. Why? Because, okay, I don't want to lose this. So that was my generation in the 90s when they started weaponizing that felony. So it's a lot of people my age, they can't have their own place. They can't have a bank account. Why? You got this criminal record and you're afraid to go down there and address it. So we got to start having these conversations amongst our men. Go down there and handle your business and get that shit taken care of, if that's the case. It's a learning opportunity for you, and you don't need a lawyer for that. That's what we're showing you on this channel. You can read the law just like they can. You can go down there and go through any procedure, and the only thing you got to pay is filing costs. I'm speaking from experience. It ain't nothing that I'm guessing about. Now, you don't want to go down there for any and everything, but there are some things in my life that I've had to go through a civil court process for. I've said it multiple times. My son took it all the way up through there, went all the way to the Court of Appeals, the second highest court in the state. Once I realized they were cheating to win, I said, ain't no need to go to the Supreme Court. I already outsmarted them and beat the system. But it ain't about winning or losing. It's about the fact that you got to stand for something. If we're not going to stand for our kids, then the world sees that. So it's open season. That's why they premiering this shit on Friday at 7 o'clock at night. Because they know based on our actions, men and women of middle age, as much as we want to talk shit, the world has no respect for us or our kids. Why? Because we're not making them respect us.
Exactly. You have to demand the respect.
You have to show them to get your respect. Next one that kills one of your family, the next one of us that gets killed unlawfully, all of a sudden, if that house blow up, now it's a different talk, ain't it? If that car explode, and his whole family was in it, oops. I guess you'll think twice before you just shoot one of ours, huh? See, we don't want to have them kind of conversations. We the only group of people that don't want to have them kind of conversations, but yet we'll fight if you step on somebody's shoes. We'll fight for any reason in the world, but we will not want to have them conversations when it comes to other people killing our kids.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, maybe I'm going in tonight, but what is the chat's opinion on why we won't talk about eye for an eye? Why is that so taboo for us? Why won't we talk about you got me fucked up if you think you're gonna kill one of mine and just walk around in society like it's okay? What's the thoughts of the people in the chat? Why is violence never an alternative when violence is being done to us? I'm just curious just to see, because you got prison channels all on YouTube that go viral on any video. All them niggas talk about is violence and codes, violence and codes. If you violate this, you got to fight. If you do this, you got to fight. But all of a sudden in the real world with the free people, we ain't got no code and we ain't got no violence.
Exactly.
It's backwards,
so
man.
like it ain't about violence, and you got niggas going viral every day with violent videos.
Yeah.
Y'all help me out. Let me stop.
Yeah. I'm looking in the chat to see people have turned the other cheek mentality because you have gatekeepers keeping us asleep, an eye for an eye.
Saying religion.
Christianity. People scared of jail, dying, etc.
Okay, let me throw something out there on that. And again, I'm pretty much the people who follow this channel, you're adults and most of y'all got kids. So let me ask y'all a real question. Have you planned your death? If you haven't planned your death, then how can you live? Once you plan your death and you get your life insurance and everything intact, damn, let me say it a different way. If you don't do that, then how can you say you love your kids? If you got kids right now and you don't have life insurance, you don't love your kids. So I think when the person put in the chat, we're afraid of death, I'm gonna say like this. I think if you're afraid to die, then you've never planned your death. Because mortality comes with life.
Yeah,
Right.
everybody got to do that.
But let's have a deeper conversation about this. Why is it that the majority of us probably think the way that person, and I'm not disrespecting the person that made the comment, I'm just saying, we trying to get to the reason of why we take violence off the table when violence is being done to us. If it's the fact that you're scared to die, maybe you don't have anything worth living for as a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I didn't start living until I planned my death. Because there's a process you got to go through to plan your death. When you actually have to make decisions and say who's going to get what, who's going to get this, that, and the third. Once you write that out, you come out of that process like I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah, we straight on the back end. We straight. Like for real, I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
Going, you know, I ain't have it, but I was out there doing what needed to be done. But now I said I got it. Well, shit, I ain't got to worry about my folks taking no non-disclosure, don't speak on nothing.
Right.
Bencrump. They straight anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So no, fuck that. Fuck what he talking about. Y'all ride.
And it gives you a peace of mind too, especially like Chief Alligator said, if you have kids, it gives you a peace of mind to navigate through life that if something, and it does give you something to live for, you know, or something that you are willing to die for, you know, i.e. your kids, your family. So I definitely agree with both of you. The back end, the back door is still tight.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, shit, that just comes with us just having recovery in all aspects, you know,
Yeah.
mentally, financially, everything, like having a standard. Like you said, like if we all know, okay, something happened to me, my kids straight, so I ain't got to worry about them financially. And I know that the people around them, they don't have a father figure or a mother figure in their life type of thing. So I'm willing to put myself on the line so they can live, because I done already got things set up for them in case, you know, something were to happen untimely. But yeah, and I think, you know, that's a good point, because if we had that in place, I'm pretty sure they didn't have that in place for probably Breonna Taylor or George Floyd or some of these other people, because we're seeing bencrump is the one getting these lawsuits and settlement checks for them.
Right.
You already had that established, and damn your settlement check. Nah, I need criminal charges being pressed, and if that doesn't, then somebody's gonna come up missing straight up. So we're not worried about your fiat. Again, we already shown you that there is no money. But if we're gonna play with this fiat, we already got the fiat too, just in case. So we don't. What you talking about, Ben, is that's going in one ear and out the other. We don't want to hear that.
Let me throw one more thing in. We put that community post in a couple of days ago. Let's have a conversation on this too quick while we at it. Let's talk about this prisoner of war term. In order to be a prisoner of a war, that means that there was fighting going on. Say that you descend from slaves, that's a group of people that never resisted. When we say that we're prisoners of war, that means that we've been in a fight. That means our grandparents fought, our great-grandparents fought, our parents fought. Now it's our time to fight.
Right.
So I don't want to get it construed when we say prisoner of war. Yeah, war means fight. They didn't win. But they also didn't declare it either, because they pussy. That's what we're saying. See, just call it. Just say, look, after school today is going down. They didn't do that. What they did is start swinging on us.
Yeah, try to sneak a nigga.
You see what I'm saying? So they've been sneaking us for over 200 years, and we still here. So it's not a doom and gloom thing. Like, we showing you the documents. Yeah, you getting land under the goddamn military, and there's no Negro colored or black in any kind of Congress, in any kind of law that Congress, like, we're showing you, you're not a part of this shit. You know, the governor's deploying military in fear that you might, you know, uprise and take to the streets, but they don't do that when the Capitol got raided or when state capitals get raided. You know, it ain't hard to figure this shit out, y'all. So now the question is, damn, if we in a war, that means we've been in a fight. We just ain't realized we in a fight. We've been TKO for the last 200. We drunk out on our feet. We trying to help y'all shake that shit off. Give me some smelling salts. Let me get my eyesight right.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? One eye closed, you know what I'm saying? Grill all loose, nose leaking, mouth leaking. We fucked up over here. We fucked up. The world looking at us like, damn, them niggas taking some punishment, but we ain't out yet. So I just want to put that in there with this prisoner of war term, man. It's not like we're saying, and it's a sophisticated version of prisoner of war, as Chief Biko has stated before. It's not in your face, tin can with a cup of water, but anytime you get ready to resist, who the military for?
Facts.
That's what we were showing you on our community post. Anytime there's one people that when they stand up, they bring all the woodworks out.
And they've been doing it since they came to this damn land.
So we playing games with ourselves at this point because they're showing you based on their actions what time it is.
Yeah.
It's only one group of people that cannot stand up. We can pull up the George Floyd protests. They brought the military out in 2020 when they did the George Floyd protests at the Capitol. Less than a year later, January 6th, there was more military to be found. Niggas can't figure this shit out.
It's right there.
Am I tripping, y'all? Do I need to turn it
Right on
down?
point.
No, not at all.
Because we like to play dumb, and when I say dumb, it's like we'll come up with phrases, sentences, and terms to not just say we in a war. All we're showing our people via documents is that they never included us under this government. And when they did include us, they put us up under the War Department. What does that make us? We just showed you that the Congressional Black Caucus couldn't get the George Floyd Act passed, but the Asians got their shit passed in less than 30 days. That was in 2020, y'all. We reading the 1964 Civil Rights Act right now. You're not gonna find the word Negro, Black, or colored in that document, but they had you under Jim Crow laws in the South. States were writing laws against the Negro, Black, and colored, yet the federal government never recognized you as Negro, Black, and colored in the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So we living in this world of make-believe, like we all high off something. Like we all just imaginary faking like we a part of this shit. When their government structure and procedure is showing you to this day, nothing get voted on through Congress with Negro, Black, and colored on it. Y'all ain't. Am I tripping? Like, why can't we figure this shit out? This shit ain't hard. Like, you niggas balance checkbooks and pay for kids to go to college and buy cars for your kids, and y'all can't figure this shit out?
That's it, man. I think folks on this chat, they understand it, but you know, the majority still want to have that faith in this system, even though this system has already shown you their true colors. Already shown you what time it is, already shown you that we don't fuck with y'all. I don't know why you still trying to be my friend. I don't fuck with you. Every time you come around, I slap you. I don't know what kind of friends you hang around with. I guess you really that lonely. And that's how they pretty much see us. So it's like until we get that out of our mind as far as trying to be a part of them and try to be a part of this system and try to be civil, the same shit gonna keep happening. Again, each fiscal quarter, it's gonna be some shit. So again, let's take these 90 days. I know we probably went a little over, but after March 31st, I'm pretty sure there'll be another incident that happens from April 1st to June 30th. And just you know, sit back and peep that. As far as folks in the chat, the viewer, I guarantee you will see something regarding our group of people, some type of tragedy every 90 days. And until we actually stand up, hold these folks accountable, again, practice the first law of nature, which is self-preservation, this shit will continue to happen. It's like we stuck in a trench right now.
Yeah.
Somebody said back in the day, I think it was Chief Blackcoat. He said we're zombies out here.
Hmm.
That's a great analogy for our group of people right now. It's like we're walking dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the fiscal quarter is concerned, that's what we're doing. We're in week 5 of a new year, y'all. It's just January 2023. And we starting off the year once again with our ass getting whooped. Here we go. We can take this thing all the way back to 2019. How did you end 2019? You ended 2019 with the Botham John murder. Did y'all forget that? Where the damn judge came off the bench and actually hugged the fucking convicted murderer. Never seen this shit before. And then you rolled on into 2020, and then you get Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. And then you started off last year with the damn Kyle Rittenhouse case. This government is in the business of fucking you over. All we're saying is break it down into a 13-week increment, 90 days at a time. We're in January, something gonna happen in February, something gonna happen in March. It's guaranteed. All we gotta do is just stay in alignment. Every time we do this shit, whether it's a damn grocery store massacre in Buffalo, we're not right. We're not future tellers. It's just that we figured out the rhythm of this government. And as long as we keep doing a video once a week, and as long as we keep counting the weeks, counting the fiscal quarters, it's inevitable, because this government's in the business of killing you. What we're doing is exposing that. We ain't, and everybody that's rocking with us, we're all going to get in alignment, and we're all going to start getting on that frequency together, and we're all going to start realizing the game. So, and man, as far as this Tyree Nichols situation, his parents are finna get taken care of. They hired that law firm with bencrump to get them paid. Let them do their tour around the nation. Let them talk whatever they want to talk. Pay them people no mind. She already taken care of. She already made a decision when she signed that contract. But what you don't want to do is have your people out there in the street promoting. You're not gonna get another bag off the people with the bullshit. Yeah. Have your fake Black Lives Matter organization out there. Can you pull Black Lives Matter up real quick and drop this link in the chat? Because most of us ain't never went to the website and even see what it's about. All we saying is, man, we are the adults. The kids are going to follow us. You want to know why the youth is off the chain? It's because the youth don't have nobody to look up to. I just said it. The kids ain't the problem. It's the parents. The kids are not the problem. It's the parents. We're the ones that's supposed to be down there at the schoolhouse. We're the ones that's supposed to be down there telling them you got us fucked up with whatever curriculum. What kid can't do that. So you wonder why the kid skips school and don't give a fuck about it. You wonder why the kid starts organizing with other youth in his community and rebelling. They see the videos of people their age getting killed just like we did. But if mom and daddy and uncle and cousin and auntie ain't doing shit about it, then what you think the kids gonna do? They just gonna rebel. So the shit all starts with us. We can't hold kids accountable for our adult decisions. It's crazy. Okay, so we're on the Black Lives Matter website. Can you put the link in the chat, and can you go to the about? Here we go, right here where it says we affirm. Can you read that to the chat real quick so we can be clear based on their website what this organization is about?
All right, so it says we affirm the lives of Black, queer, and trans folk, disabled folks, undocumented folks, folks with records, women, and all Black lives along the gender spectrum. Our network centers those who have been marginalized within Black liberation movements.
Okay, now I'm gonna put my treasurer hat on real quick, and I'm gonna speak from an accounting standpoint. Let's look at each one of these names as an expense item. Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense item for Black queer? Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense item for trans folk? Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense item for disabled folks? Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense item for undocumented folks? Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense item for folks with records? Do you want to be a part of something that has an expense for women? Doesn't say what type of women, just says women. The only thing they're not specific of on this website is the Black man.
Bingo.
Catch that. Catch that, y'all.
Mhm.
No black man here. Black, queer, trans folk, disabled folk, undocumented. So damn, you ain't even got to be a citizen and they'll give you the bag.
Mm-mm.
See, this is on us as the adults. We're supposed to say, fuck Black Lives Matter and everything it stands for.
Exactly.
Come on, y'all. Where y'all at? Where the chat at with this, man? We just talking like
They
adults.
they fucking with it. They saying absolutely.
It's
Mhm.
bullshit.
Straight weirdos, man. This shit weird. This shit weird, y'all. This shit weird. Straight up. Like this shit weird. Like even going back to what you said, motherfuckers changing channels in the restaurant to see one of us get killed at 8. That shit is weird. That shit
For
ain't
entertainment, like
the entertainment. All this shit is weird. This whole system fucking weird, man. We gotta get the hell up out of here, man. For real. This shit don't make no damn sense. But yeah, it can account for every damn thing and literally every damn thing because we know this shit ain't even real. Like he said, women underneath this damn government, hell, a dog can think it's a woman. It's a woman. Like this shit is all make believe. So yeah, we definitely got as Migo said.
So here's what they got you doing, because remember, a maxim of law is your consent. So when you say you support Black Lives Matter, what you're really saying is you support undocumented folks.
Hmm.
When you say you support Black Lives Matter, you're really saying you support trans folks.
right.
You see it? They
And
got
that again, it comes from us not reading and comprehending what the hell is really going on. We just want to be included in something,
Yeah.
part of a movement, and you don't even know what the hell the movement is because you
Facts.
see the mission of the movement.
Just following the
Just
crowd.
signing up for shit.
So they raised $90 million for undocumented people, disabled folks. Now notice now, trans folk, they don't say whether they don't play the color game with trans folk. It could be European trans folk. So you see, this is on us. The people have to start saying that shit don't apply to us. Because as long as they got you with your t-shirt out there in the street talking about Black Lives Matter, yeah, what you're really saying is undocumented folks matter.
It's crazy.
So they're running game on us as the parents. They're not running game on our kids. Our kids don't know no better right now. It's on us. I apologize, y'all, tonight, man. I just, it's not frustrating. I think it just gets disappointing at times because it's the same fucking play. Oh, but you know what? We've studied to show ourselves approved so we can see the play. And so everybody that's rocking with this channel, we have to spread this information to those of us that are intellectually mature enough to digest what we're saying. I'll even put it like this. A nigga will tell you how he got a great deal on this car. Oh yeah, I got them down to 6%. They were trying to hit me for 12. You know the whole contract in and outs. You know the language of your credit card, but you don't know the language of the government that's been robbing you since it got established. So we got the talent to understand how it works. We just apply our energy to the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
We need you to take that energy that you use to go get a brand new car off the car lot. We need you to apply that contract reading to reading these documents with us about how we never got included under this government. That's what we need to do. Because we got beautiful minds. If you could memorize a whole song by heart, you can memorize these documents.
We brilliant. We just read an inventor that made 300 food products off of peanut.
Right.
Who does that? We do that.
Us.
You know what I'm saying? We do that. So it's like you said, we just got to apply that energy and that same work ethic towards something that's going to work for us or be beneficial for us. You know, damn, going to see your favorite team play. Get up in a book that's going to get you and your team, meaning your family, your tribe, some actual beneficial resources. So that's all it is, man. Just refocusing energy, refocusing our energies for it so it can be beneficial for us. But yeah, this shit here, yeah, it's gotta go. And it gotta be like this for every time some organization pop up. Okay, who are you for and what are you for? Before we just go out there and start repping you. Yeah, this mind-boggling.
And all attention needs to be on the Black Caucus as we move forward through this, because ultimately, again, you got to master being an employee first before you can talk about running your own. So we need to understand this government first so we can figure out what's good about it and what's not good about it. Right here in closing, as we close this out, and normally we read documents, but today, you know, everything just fell in alignment. So we wanted to kind of we're still building on the 1964 Civil Rights Act, but we're just tying in Tyree Nichols' death as well. This caucus is the largest caucus under the United States government. There is an Asian caucus, there's a Hispanic caucus. This caucus has the most members and it's the oldest. It's been established since 1971. But it represents on its expense sheet when it gets its federal resources, it's got an expense item for every goddamn body.
So how the hell you gonna eat if you feeding everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
So it's time for us to be honest and say, put your Quran, put your Bible, put whatever religious book that you believe in, leave that shit out the room. Bring your calculator, your pencil, and your paper, and let's do the math, and let's get to the business. Damn this we are the world shit. Second part of that is look at the people in the caucus. Most of these people don't come from our lineage.
Facts, absolutely.
We the only group that play this game, y'all. You got people in here that are not American.
Mm-hmm.
So you're infiltrated.
Mm-hmm. Under the guise of what? Black.
Right.
You got people in this caucus on geriatrics. They need to be in the bed at home watching TV. But they ride it out. They stay in public office too long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to say, Auntie, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
Uncle, sit your ass down somewhere. Don't nobody think like that no more. And that's our problem. This is our biggest problem right here. This is the backboard. This is the back row of the chessboard. And you haven't heard nothing from these people since Tyree Nichols got killed. Nothing.
Yeah, as you stated earlier, it's good. Pretty much just summarized it up. This is that back line of the chessboard that never talks about our group. And as you stated, because a lot of these folks ain't even a part of our group. They're just masquerading underneath this black classification. But obviously they're not fucking with the actual American. So yeah, it's a lot of straightening that has to be done amongst our group, especially in regards to these people here. So in closing, definitely shout out to everybody in the chat who's been engaged. Definitely was a fire build today. Appreciate all the questions, everything. We'll be back next week, definitely breaking down again that Civil Rights Act, because we already know the answer. We're not going to see anything regarding our group of people, but we're just going to continue to chip away at this and see how, again, a lot of this stuff parallels with what we're dealing with today. So,
and I apologize as well to the chat. I was a little turned tonight as a generation. I was on 10 in this motherfucker. So but sometimes people got to see the human side of you too. And you got to be versatile. You got to be, you have to be able to wear multiple hats in society. I could put that hat on and I can talk to the youth, or if I got to put that law hat on, I can put that law hat on and go in your law library and I can read documents with the best of them. I can pull out the blood. I'm versatile with this shit, but we all got to be versatile with it and stop letting these people stereotype us. We are the gods. We descend from people who created all this shit. Stop playing with me. Water, anything you want to say? So again, I apologize, man, for what I'm saying.
No apologies needed, man.
No apologies needed. No, I agree with everything. I just think that we at some point we have to show them how to treat us and stop going along with whatever it is that they're giving us and telling us. And like you said, we have to start teaching our kids not to be fearful out here in these streets and about being lawfully armed and just standing up. Like throw away the fear and fight, basically.
Absolutely. 100% agree on that. Until next time, y'all. Catch y'all next week on the Lost Confederacy.